Let's go, boobs. Let's start recording. Let's go. It's episode, what is it?
525.
What?
525.
Oh, how'd you know? I have it written down. Wave to everybody.
Hello.
Hello. It's another wife episode. We're getting into what? The Anunnaki.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Told you I wanted to take it a little light. You know, we started the day off with some satanic rituals. Not us doing them. Us covering them. There's an episode about it. And now we're getting into the Anunnaki.
Yeah. You love this.
I love anything that's like this. Because it's out there, and people who just say, no, it's not real, it's like, yeah, I don't know, you're silly. It's almost as silly as someone saying it definitely is real.
Yeah.
Like, as silly as somebody might think, like, oh, you think this race came and, like, altered human DNA? It's just as silly to say, no, that's impossible, it didn't happen.
Yeah, how do you know?
You have no proof. You have zero proof. No one has any proof. That's why it's so fun to think about. But we're going to talk about a little bit about Zecharia Sitchin. I'm also going to touch on the website Sitchin is Wrong.
Interesting.
There's a website that every archaeologist got together and made.
That's weird.
Little weird that they all felt like they had to get together and say that he was wrong. Yeah, I don't know, but let's get into it. We got a Rogan clip. We got all sorts of stuff. So what do you have in terms of notes towards this stuff?
Well, just for people who don't know, the Anunnaki are a race of alien gods. Like, they are gods to human beings.
Yeah.
And they showed up to Earth like 450,000 years ago.
Wow.
So the legend goes. And there's lots of reference to them in ancient Sumerian tablets that have like pictures and like hieroglyphs and things like that. And it talks about them kind of sharing knowledge.
Yeah.
And also being the makers of humankind today as we know it.
It's very interesting, you know, because when we bring that part up, like making us, I wonder how it all goes, because there's also a theory called the stone ape theory, where these little apes found mushrooms, started eating them, and that's how the brain doubled in size, because no one can think of it. People say it's meat, but a lot of people also say it could be psychedelics that did it. You know?
Yeah.
So, or what happened was you got acute, because you get very acute vision, acute hearing when you take psychedelics. You get really tuned into what you're doing, and that aided them in hunting. Then they were able to catch meat, eat meat.
Oh, okay.
You know, and then the whole thing happened. But maybe they were brought to a certain point. Like, I have no idea. But sometimes I like to see if these two theories link up at all. But before I let you go on, got to bring you to the store. Completely forgot about this. I am CoachColin.com. We got the Public Enemy #1 shirt. We got the Certified Pure Blood shirt for those of you that are unjabbed and proud. And we also have the Sold Not For Sale shirt. If you want 10% off, all you got to do is put in the discount code area. I am Coach Colin. 1 L in the name Colin. All capital letters. All one word. You can thank this lady right here. She's the one that set it all up.
Woo.
All right.
So it said that the Anunnaki combined their own DNA with that of Homo erectus, which is the human precursor to Homo sapiens.
Okay.
To make them a little bit smarter so that they would understand the technology.
Which technology? What do they need to understand?
For like the mining of gold.
Oh, yes.
To understand instruction.
Yes, because that's all we are.
Yes.
We're just here to mine gold, which kind of explains why we love it so much.
Right? I was just thinking that as I was reading all these notes again, I literally was like looking at my rings and I was like,
Yeah, like we love it. We love gold.
Yeah.
We always make sure to have it.
Yeah, and there's so many even like myths about gold, like Midas, like King Midas.
Yeah, right?
Like, it's weird that even in, I think King Midas is like an ancient Greek tale, right?
Well, King Midas, King 50 Cent, King any rapper you can think of.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's been around
to be
forever.
Draped in gold.
Yeah. So maybe it's like,
ancient
like
Egypt.
If you have lots of gold, it's like you're more higher evolved or something.
Yeah, higher evolved, or, you know, you did the most mining. You mined enough that you could give some to the Anunnaki and you had some left over?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But the theory was that they needed the gold because their planet, which was called Nibiru or Planet X, had an atmosphere. What?
It's called X, like Elon Musk.
Exactly, I know.
Calling
I always
everything
think of
X,
that.
and he wants to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's Mars. They're from Mars.
Well, okay, so they were saying the atmosphere was like eroding and it was having like holes and it was leading to global warming. Like kind of a more elevated version of our like hole in the ozone layer.
Yeah.
And they found that by spraying gold dust into the atmosphere, it was repairing these holes.
Wow.
So they needed lots of it, but they didn't have a lot on their own planet. And they were trying to mine it because sometimes like asteroids and comets contain bits of gold.
Of course, yeah.
But it just wasn't enough. So they located a planet close to them, which was us, that had quite a bit of gold.
And they had monkeys.
Yeah. But they came over with their own slave race called the Ajiji.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
Yeah. So the Ajiji were initially brought over to do all the hard work.
Oh.
So they started mining it themselves, but there just wasn't enough of them. And then the Ajiji revolted.
Really?
Yes, because they said, this is too hard. Like, we need some help. This is ridiculous. And that's when the Anunnaki stepped in and changed the DNA of Homo erectus to make them a slave race.
So they replaced them.
They worked alongside
Really?
the Ajiji,
It
yeah.
was almost like we were like their AI.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like we were like, I've said this before, biological robots. That'd
Yes.
be the smartest thing for a race to have.
Yeah.
Is to have biological robots, not like robots out of metal.
Mm-hmm.
That's what a silly race would do. Make it out of metal.
True.
You know, a smart race would be like, make it biological.
Yeah, because
So
then
it
they can
has-
like reproduce.
Well, it can reproduce, and also it has this obsolescence before it gets
True.
too aware of like history and everything.
Yeah.
It has this obsolescence where it like dies down and then just perishes.
Interesting.
You know, it makes
Yeah.
another one. Maybe it makes 10. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and then it just dies off.
But when I was reading about the like how to fix the atmosphere with
Yeah.
like the gold dust and everything,
Mm-hmm.
it was talking about it would be a similar process to how you terraform Mars,
There you
which
go.
is why I found it interesting that you were talking about Elon Musk and X going to
There you
Mars.
go. He knows about X, and that's why he's trying to name everything X.
Yeah, SpaceX,
Yeah.
XX.
Yeah, his son is named X.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, everything.
that's crazy.
He's trying to turn Twitter into the X app. It's now a part of X Corp.
Mm-hmm. And he said before that the pyramids are built by aliens.
He did that?
Yeah,
he said
that.
Oh man, he probably knows so much more than he's telling people.
Yeah, right? And people think the Anunnaki supplied the information and technology to build the pyramids.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Just because of all like the ancient knowledge
Yeah.
that was seen back then, like that nobody understands how they got.
Yeah. Wow. Huh. That's interesting.
Yeah, weird, eh?
Very, very interesting. So Elon Musk knows, and that's why he wants to go back there. He's like, we have to go back to our rightful place.
Or he just like is one
He's the last one.
and wants to do like another Earth.
And he's
Like
just
he's like, I'm bored of this one.
He's like, I'm the last one left. The rest of them left.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm going to use these guys like a Gigi's.
Yeah.
I'm going to get them to just build and volunteer and praise me. And then I'm going to go back.
Yeah. And we all think he's like a genius.
Yeah. Right?
That's true.
We all think he like a super genius. Like people don't just think he's smart. They think he's like incredibly like just Einstein level smart.
Yeah.
Like more so.
Yeah.
Really interesting the way that works.
And some people believe like people say there's like reptilian and lizard people around. They think those people are Anunnaki.
Oh yes, like I remember hearing about this whole story that there were good Anunnaki and bad ones, and the bad ones resembled what we would think of as lizard people. That's what I remember hearing. I think I even saw a picture of it. I'll try and find it while you're talking.
Yeah, and there were Egyptian scrolls from like 300 AD that described humanoid reptilian beings.
Really?
Yeah. So very much like the reptilian people that we would think of today.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wait. The reptilian people, they have what? What? Say that again?
Egyptian scrolls
Mm-hmm.
that describe reptilian humanoids.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go, right?
Yeah, so like the reptile people are maybe actually bad Anunnaki.
That would make sense. And they're still using people like today.
For personal gain.
Yeah. Wow. That would be a fun little thing because, and then also kind of bleeds into a lot of people have this notion that like the Queen, the royal family, a lot of people in politics, that they're all spliced with these lizard people, that they're actually like descendant and like of that race.
Interesting.
Right?
Yeah.
And that's why those people, the royal family is royalty, but that's why politicians and everybody, they're treated like royalty as well.
And why it said like all of the presidents come back to a single ancestor.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like that's like Anunnaki daddy.
Yeah. Well, they all go back to a single ancestor, and I forget if it's all the presidents, but maybe George Bush, Obama and George Bush are supposed to be like long cousins of some kind, but they're also supposed to be related to the Queen.
Oh.
Yeah. They're supposed to be related to that family. It's really weird. And it kind of makes sense. We treat them all like royalty, and they act like royalty.
Yeah.
I feel like people in politician positions wouldn't act like royalty. Like a real one, like a regular one, like you or me.
Yeah.
You just kind of do a job.
I was thinking about that this morning. I don't even... Oh, because you were listening to that song that was about rich men north of Richmond.
Oh, I love that song.
That was a good song.
Oh, Oliver Anthony.
Yeah.
He's the best.
Yeah.
That's the greatest song.
But I was listening to that and thinking about, like, politicians and how they don't care. And I was like, if you or I were to, like, run for a political office, like, how would we do that? It would be on, like, an everyman's kind of platform.
Yeah.
And be like, I'm a normal person.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah. And I was thinking about that and how it would,
person.
like, it probably wouldn't even get off the ground because we don't have money to back us.
Well, I mean, yeah. And think about that is happening. Like right now, there's a regular guy who's running for president and nobody knows.
Yeah.
He's just like independent. He's just trying. He's just going around knocking on doors.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And it's just hard to get it off the ground. And then also they've created a system where it takes like, I think someone said minimum $500 million to run for president.
Jeez.
Like effectively, you know? That's why even someone like RFK is, trying to get donations.
Yeah, of course.
As many as you can.
But it's like makes it miserable too, because then you need donations from
regular people,
large companies.
That too.
Not even just individuals. Like you can't do it with just individuals' support.
Yeah.
It has to be companies, and then your whole platform goes. Yeah.
You're beholden to them.
Yeah, it's horrible.
That's why a lot of people like Vivek, the brown guy, young brown guy.
Yeah, I remember.
He's like 37 years old. I believe he's a billionaire. I'm pretty sure he's founded a few billion-dollar companies, like a couple, maybe 3, and he's spending all his own money. Mm-hmm. And he says he's doing it. So he's like, so I don't have to be beholden to these people.
Yeah, it's good.
So he's spent, at least so far, he spent $15 million, and he's willing to spend like whatever he has to.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason they haven't banned the sale of cigarettes, period.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
As the only thing in the world that they know is going to kill you, and they sell it in every store.
Right. Yeah, alcohol to an extent too.
Yeah.
It's a lot of different things like that. It's very interesting. But yeah, you think like if it was you or I, you'd run completely different.
Yeah.
Not even that you'd run completely different. You'd do things completely different.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be like, I have to do this for the people. But these politicians, they kind of act like they act like as if the people are like peasants.
Yeah.
To them.
Because they are. Even if they're not politicians. Yeah. They're just really rich people, and they see regular people as peasants.
I get, or they're like connected to this lizard race.
True.
There's 2 ways to look at it. Either they're dicks, or they're lizard people,
or a bit of both.
You can be both, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, what else? I also have a Rogan clip, so let me know when I can do that.
Yeah, do that now.
You want to? Okay, let's do it. Let's jump over here. We got Rogan. Rogan's gonna like basically give a breakdown, a little bit of what we just touched on, but like he's gonna go a little deeper because Rogan's been into this for literally I don't know, 3 decades now, maybe 4.
Who's he talking to in this one?
In this one, he's talking to, I believe he's talking to Eddie Hong. He's a Asian chef.
Oh.
Who's just like into talking about weird stuff. Cool guy. Let's go.
And then every now and then, one of the Zecharia Sitchin people would jump in there. Do you know who Zecharia Sitchin is?
No.
Zecharia Sitchin was a guy who actually, ironically enough, predicted this in the 70s. But he called it the 12th planet because that's when they thought Pluto was still a planet, and then they thought the moon was a planet. Like, this is all based on the Sumerian text. This is all getting real convoluted now. But Zecharia Sitchin, he is a biblical scholar. He's dead now. But he wrote all these books about this culture from another planet called the Anunnaki. And this is transcribing the ancient Sumerian text. The Sumerians were the oldest. There he is. See that thing that he's holding up in front of him? That is a piece of Sumerian art. Well, what's interesting is you see that star. You see the star, the sun with all the planets? That is our solar system. It's not just our solar system. That is all the planets in all the right sizes, which is kind of fucking crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, and this was 6,000 years ago when a lot of people didn't even think that they thought the world was flat, right? But it also depicted this orbit, this what they believe is one of the things that the Sumerian texts describe, is this elliptical orbit of this planet called Nibiru. And this planet is in the outside edge of our solar system. It comes between Mars and Jupiter. In this Zecharia Sitchin translation, I think it was every 3,600 something years, and that this is where the Anunnaki came from. And then what they did is they came down here, they studied some lower hominids, they introduced their DNA into these lower hominids and made human beings. And so he had predicted this planet being outside of our solar system for a long time. It's different.
And it's there.
Yeah, it is there.
Do we know what's on this planet?
Well, the orbit is different. The size of the orbit is different compared to what he described. No, we don't even have a picture of it, so we definitely don't know what it looks like. But the Anunnaki, as described by Zecharia Sitchin, is the same thing as in the biblical term of the Elohim. Like, there's also different descriptions of these giants that came from somewhere else. Like those, I think the description of Anunnaki, what it means is those from heaven to earth came. And the idea is that there's advanced beings came down here and genetically engineered human beings. It's discredited by other scholars of ancient Babylonian and Sumerian culture. But see, when you do look at some of the stuff, though, you go, okay, well, how did they know about the solar system? How did they know about all those planets? Not only that, they had the caduceus, the caduceus, the symbol for medicine. It's also the double helix of DNA, and that's what he believes it represented. He believes that that caduceus symbol that they had represents DNA, and that's what the ancient Sumerian people were trying to describe when they carved these things into clay tablets. They were trying to, as best they could, make some sort of a rational, logical depiction of what they were being told by these ancient people.
Damn. So we might have already figured it out once, and then we're figuring it out again.
So you look at the double helix of DNA, and then you look at the caduceus, where this intertwined. You see the top one with the two eagles.
If I was 6,000 years old, man, and I was gonna design some shit with snakes,
6,000 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, it would kind of look like that.
Well, but it does look like a double helix of DNA. I mean, it's very, very similar.
But it also looks like a guy was just like trying to decorate with two snakes.
Totally.
Doing the tango.
But why does it represent medicine? And why does it still represent medicine today? That caduceus, that symbol, still represents medicine today.
True. It's that one I'm having trouble explaining.
There's some weird shit. There's also some weird shit in terms of some of the imagery that they had of the solar system. One is one of the most telling because it's really bizarre that without a telescope they were able to draw a detailed image of the solar system. Like, how the fuck did they do that? How did they know that there was that many planets out there? How were they able to differentiate between stars and planets? How did they know the right number of planets?
Yeah.
Not only that, they also had a detailed depiction of the creation of the moon. They have scientists and astronomers, they have Earth 1 and Earth 2, meaning that Earth was a certain size and a certain shape in the beginning, and then it was hit by another planet. That's also in the ancient Sumerian depiction of how the universe was created, or how the solar system was created. There's a planet called Marduk and Tiamat, and Tiamat collided with Marduk or something like that. I forget exactly but essentially it's Earth 1 and Earth 2. It's the same model that actual astrologers or astronomers use today when they're describing the Earth.
Yes, all of that. I love it. I absolutely love it. I love it. And if you look at that, and all of you guys saw it as well, their depictions of the planet, it looked like the Star of David. It was a triangle and another triangle, like a Jewish star. Very weird.
Yeah, that's weird.
So that's a symbol that they still use. The symbol of medicine is still used.
Yeah.
The two snakes, which could be like a way of saying like all healing happens within the DNA.
True. That'd be cool.
Because that is, a lot of spiritual people talk about that. Like you can heal yourself through thought, through repairing your DNA, through eating properly.
I also read that the story of Adam and Eve is representative of the combining of alien DNA with ours.
Ah.
Like they made...
Eve was an alien?
Like Adam was first, and then they took a rib bone and made...
And then grew her.
Yes. And then made Eve.
Well,
and then there was a serpent in the garden.
Oh,
so that's
lizard.
That's the combining of the reptilian DNA.
Yeah, because we never question why the lizard can talk. The snake.
Yeah.
Like, why can the snake talk?
Yeah.
Oof. Jeez.
Weird, eh?
I like it. I like thinking about that. Could be. It does sound like a bit of a, I don't want to say petri dish, but it sounds like a bit of a, it's like a garden. It's walled.
Yeah.
And when they messed up, they got thrown out of it.
Yeah.
And like, what happened from there? Did they just make another one?
True.
Yeah. Like what happened
who
from there?
knows?
Why was it so easy? I guess it's God in that story. Why was it so easy for this God to just throw them away?
Yeah.
And just cast them out? Was it because there was more and you could just grow more?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if you were doing a research, if you were doing like research on something and then it failed the parameters, you would discard it and you'd start again.
Yeah.
You'd be like, okay, this one messed up. It already did the thing I told it not to do. Like, get out of here. I need another one now. Right? And you'd need to like redo it and be like, okay, this one will be better.
Yeah. Who knows?
I don't know. I love it. I love thinking about that.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it was like Eve ate the apple, the forbidden fruit.
Adam did. Or she ate it
No, it was
first?
Eve. Eve did it and convinced Adam to.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the snake is what convinced Eve to.
Oh.
So
I
maybe
didn't know
the eating the forbidden fruit was like, I don't know, like taking the gold, like taking what they wanted.
Yeah. Having the being able to be like gods in a sense. And then Apple still uses that symbol.
Yeah, the bitten apple.
Isn't that funny? I have one on my laptop. Because I view this as like the forbidden fruit. It's technology, the thing we're not supposed to really bite into too much.
Yeah, not too much.
Yeah, right? Oh, man. See, it's weird the way this so-called theory, or I don't know what you want to brand it as, conspiracy, whatever it might be, it links up to many things.
Yeah, for
of
sure.
our past and even like into the present, And then when he talked about Nibiru being in between Mars and Jupiter, did he say?
Yeah.
I believe. And it only comes every, I think he said 3,700 years, something like that. And that's actually true. That's like a real thing.
I don't think that's a real thing.
Yeah, it is.
It's like scientifically proven?
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, that's yeah, it is. It is. It actually comes into our orbit. It comes into the solar system.
I don't think anybody actually has confirmed that this planet exists.
I think they've confirmed the orbit. I'm pretty sure that something comes. But I'll check. What would I write?
I don't know.
Nibiru
Planet
orbit.
Nibiru.
Nibiru in our orbit confirmed. So what else you got?
Well, between Mars and Jupiter is also like the asteroid belt. So that makes sense too, because it said they were like mining gold from the asteroids. So if they're passing through the asteroid belt, it would be like a lot of asteroids to pick from.
Wait, say that again?
Between Mars and Jupiter
Yeah.
is something called the asteroid belt.
Of course.
And I was saying that they were trying to mine gold from the asteroids.
Mm-hmm.
So it makes sense if they were like going through there that they would try and mine as many asteroids as possible because they would have a lot of them available.
Mm-hmm.
And they're already orbiting through it.
Yeah. And how funny is that we want to do that today?
What?
Mine asteroids. Like Richard Branson's been working on that for a while.
What does he want to mine from them?
There's certain asteroids that could have like a crazy amount of diamonds,
Yeah.
gold, different elements. But like years ago, this is like a decade ago, he was like, whoever figures out how to mine asteroids, like they're gonna be a trillionaire. Like not a company that's a trillionaire, not BlackRock that has trillions in assets. He's like, this person is gonna be a trillionaire. Like that's how he said that's how the trillionaires of the future are going to be made, mining asteroids.
Interesting.
That's why he's been working on space. He was the first one.
True.
I think he was before Elon, before Jeff Bezos. He's been like looking at space for a long time.
Yeah.
Like at least I would say 25 years.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just thinking about it, thinking of how to get out there.
Well, he's quite a bit older than the other ones as well.
I feel like
so
he's
it's like
like-
they hit like a certain point and that's their midlife crisis. For rich dudes is space.
That's their midlife crisis. He's
Yeah.
like, well, I'm going to live to 150.
Yeah.
I'm 75 now. You know, I got to figure it out. I got to figure it out at least by 75. Extremely distant solar system found. There is 9 planets stolen by our sun. Then Nibiru is not real. Anyone heard about Nibiru? 2 Earth-sized worlds beyond our solar system. See, there's a bunch, and that's in CNN too. Whenever I see something that outlandish and CNN's putting it out, I'm like, that might be real. It might
You
be
think
real.
so?
Yeah, because they're always trying to like discredit things. But
True.
yeah, maybe it could be the opposite. I don't know.
Well, they always try and guide us into thinking what we want, regardless of what
Yeah.
it is that they think we should think.
There's probably another planet in our solar system. That's Reddit.
Yeah. Well, there's a theorized planet 9 because our solar system has 8 planets.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nibiru was thought to be planet number 10, which is also in Roman numerals X.
You know, Eddie Bravo. That's why he has a jiu-jitsu school.
Mm-hmm.
It's called 10th Planet,
Oh,
and that's why. 'Cause
There you
him and
go.
Rogan got into this so long ago.
that's cool.
And he's like, I'm going to call it. It was supposed to be called the 12th Planet,
Oh, for that book.
but they were getting so deep into this that they figured out like, no, it should be 10th Planet.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and you know what's interesting too? Like with the iPhone, we were talking about the Apple and everything.
Yeah.
When they got to iPhone 10, they changed it to X.
Of course.
Weird.
Yeah. Everybody who's super smart knows Nibiru is real.
Mm-hmm.
The hunt for Earth number 2. Believers in mysterious await Earth's end. Ugh, this is NBC too.
Oh, God.
So weird when
Oh,
these-
yeah. There was some lady in like 1995 who said that Nibiru was going to collide with the Earth in 2003.
Really?
Yeah, that's what they're talking about there. And then she later changed her statement and said it was going to be in 2012, like when the Mayan calendar ended.
Oh, okay.
And then obviously still didn't happen.
Well, you know, according to that kid, there's a genius kid, and he was like, it did happen in our, and we just like smashed dimensions, and he's like, that's
Oh.
why the Mandela effect exists. 'Cause
Interesting.
we've smashed into like another parallel universe of sorts,
Hmm.
and like when it happens, like you don't even know because everything's so gigantic. So it did happen.
Yeah.
But it didn't destroy us, and that's why some people remember certain
Weird.
things and other people remember certain things.
Or like it did destroy us and we're just living on like an astral plane.
You know, that is a theory. There is a conspiracy theory. Remember when we were looking at the conspiracy iceberg?
Yeah.
There's a conspiracy that like this is all a dream, like everybody's dead.
Yeah. True.
Like, we're
I
all
remember
just
that.
dreaming.
I feel like that's actually likely.
It's possible. It is possible. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of wacky things do happen.
Yeah.
You know? So I can't find it. So we'll say that you're right.
Damn it.
I'm looking for it. The only thing that popped up, it wants me to sign up for something.
Oh no, I hate those.
Unrealistic orbit for Nibiru. I don't know.
Like, the news stations need to stop trying to make you subscribe to their newspaper online and just make their money through ads like everybody else.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. I don't care. I just literally hit back immediately
Yeah.
as soon as I see that. Like, stop.
It's crazy. Unstoppable surrounding the Nibiru hoax. I don't know.
There's also been lots of other cultures other than just the Sumerians who have alluded to kind of these godlike beings who come from above.
Yeah.
Like, there's ancient Indian texts that speak of gods who fly around in golden chariots.
Oh, wow.
And they're
Really?
called the manas. And they describe, like, really interesting weaponry and invisibility cloaking and metal machinery that the mana brought with them.
Whoa. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Whew. That's Indian? Where else?
There's South American, Asian, and African myths about beings coming to Earth in cosmic eggs. And the gods came out of the eggs and taught mankind.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder.
Yeah.
Because there have been, David Fravor. Like, his whole thing is the Tic Tac.
Oh, true. The
You know,
egg.
yeah, it was shaped like, kind of like an egg, like oval-like. You know?
Yeah.
So,
Weird. And if you're like in an ancient civilization and you see something like that, you wouldn't call it a tic tac.
yeah.
It'd be an egg
Yeah, exactly.
because that's what you know.
Yeah.
And there's also the legend of Valhalla
Valhalla. How do I know
from
that?
the Vikings.
Yes.
It's like their afterworld. And Valhalla is described as being like metallic, shimmering, and with a golden roof.
Really?
Yeah.
With a golden roof.
And
a
it's
lot of gold.
Yeah, one of the ideas is that it could have been a space station that was orbiting Earth with, like, basically it's like a center for the Anunnaki.
Because they were like making sure, like, let's get this gold. Let's just make sure this gets done.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So they had like a home base that was like a space station.
And then maybe they just left. I mean, because everybody talks about the pyramids. Now, obviously, the royal family could have pillaged this. The Romans could have pillaged this. But they always talk about the tops of the pyramids all being solid gold.
Yeah.
Like extremely huge. Because, like, when we say the tip of a pyramid, we're not talking about like this. It's gigantic. Like the size of this
Massive.
room.
Yeah.
Bigger.
Yeah.
Way bigger.
Yep. And if you think about even like the Luxor Hotel in Vegas
What about it?
is the pyramid shaped one
Oh, is it?
and has a light that shoots directly into the sky.
Oh.
And you can see it from space.
Really?
You can see the Luxor Hotel light from space.
See, like, maybe all these rich guys know what's up.
Yeah, exactly.
They're like...
And they're just emulating it. Like maybe somebody's calling to
Yeah, they're trying to, like,
the
signal.
Anunnaki again
Yeah, they're signaling.
because they know the pyramid was supposed to do that. So they made their own.
Oh, man, I love it. I love it. And then would they ever come back? Have they been watching us the whole time?
Yeah.
Or maybe there are bad ones and good ones, and the bad ones have been fighting the good fight and keeping this little race together and, like, not allowing it to be liberated or evolve at all, you know?
Yeah. True.
I love it. It's like a movie.
Yeah.
It's like a movie.
Well, and they say too the Anunnaki came to Africa
Yeah.
when they first landed, and that's where they were mining the gold.
Because it was so abundant.
Yeah, and if you think about human evolution, it's a proven thing that evolution started in Africa.
Yeah. The first
And then-
person.
People just spread and migrate through the world,
Yeah.
but that is the center of evolution.
Yeah, true. It started there, and that's
Yeah.
where they landed.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. And then when you look at all of those Egyptian gods, like, they were always teaching everybody. They were teaching the ancient Egyptians about writing and engineering and
Yeah.
everything, mathematics, everything. You know? It's interesting.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Interesting to think about. And then people, like, spanned off. They went different places.
Yeah.
I wonder. I always wonder about that. Like, did they span off or did they get cast out?
True.
So why would you want to go to Europe?
And especially if like, yeah,
Why
it's
would you wanna
cold.
be there?
Especially if you like come from Africa.
Yeah.
Like I know it would have happened over like hundreds of years of people like migrating.
Yeah.
Probably thousands.
Well, what would have happened? Like turning white?
No, like from going from Africa to Europe
Yeah.
on
sure.
foot
Mm-hmm.
or by boat, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Why would you want that?
I don't know.
That'd be a terrible thing to do.
Especially if you have like a tribe or a community that you're a part of that accepts you, that you accept.
Yeah.
Like you don't just leave. You
Yeah.
might expand that community.
Well, you kind of want to do leave sometimes, you know, like my parents have done that, you know. But at the same time, you don't go to a terrible place. But I guess my parents
I was
did
going to
that.
say,
I don't know.
your parents came from the Caribbean.
Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing, right?
Which is
Like,
beautiful.
I guess. But then not enough opportunity.
Yeah.
So you got to be where opportunity is. So it doesn't matter what the weather's like.
Maybe
You
that's
know,
what they were
like,
thinking then, trying
you
to
know-
find new opportunities.
Yeah, exactly. Because if you can be as healthy and have the greatest weather in the world. If it's like a slave, if you're like a slave,
Yeah.
if you're like captive. Like if I told you I was going to keep you in a FEMA camp, and I was in a tropical place, you'd be like, I don't want that.
Yeah, rather go somewhere snowy.
So maybe they ran away.
Maybe.
Because they're even trying to, well, it's just what I think. There's even a tribe in Africa that looks exactly like Chinese people.
Really?
Yeah, they look identical to Chinese people. I forget what they're called.
I think you've showed me that actually.
Yeah, they look identical to Chinese people.
Interesting.
And it's like for sure those people just migrated at some point.
Yeah.
Some of them. And then became the Asian race.
Yeah. Because,
It's just me. I know Chinese people would hate to hear that.
well, China's on a very similar latitude to where we are in North America.
Well,
So it doesn't really make sense that they would evolve so differently.
well, I mean, they did evolve very differently, but they look exactly like these people. And if they stay in the sun, they end up looking exactly like these people. Like they're light now, but if they, like a lot of them, like the ones who work, that's why a lot of them keep themselves pretty fair-skinned,
Yeah.
like with like visors and stuff like that. Because if they just stay in the sun, they just get dark.
Yeah.
Like, and they don't do the whole like you bubble and
Oh,
peel and
God.
everything when you're in the sun.
Yeah.
They don't do that. They just get darker. Like people in Thailand,
That's true.
they just get dark.
Yeah.
They get like,
As a protective measure.
yeah, they get darker than me. I've never heard any Asian people really complaining about sunburn.
It's true.
Yeah, I've never really seen that.
Yeah, me neither.
They're blacks. Hidden blacks. But what else do you got?
No, that was it.
That's it?
Yeah.
Oh man, Anunnaki. I want to know what you guys think in the I don't know how to spell Sitchin.
It's Sitchen or IN.
Zachariah Sitchin, how?
Sitch.
That's it?
IN, I think.
I am. Zachariah Sitchin. The Apple will know. There you go.
Huh.
Was wrong.
Oh, yeah, that weird website. I
Sitchin
feel like-
is wrong.
Anybody who tries too hard to prove other people wrong, it's like there's something fishy going on.
You've proven them right.
Yeah, it's weird.
If you go to that extent to prove them wrong, you've proven them right.
Yeah.
Like I 100% believe them now.
It's like the whoever smelled it dealt it mentality.
Well, it's just very, like, a bunch of people got together
That's weird.
and they were like, look, we have an open letter just talking about why he's wrong.
And also, this isn't like Anunnaki isn't like a common thing that people talk about all the time. Like,
Yeah.
it's not like it's on the news. It's not mainstream.
No one cares about it.
Why?
really.
Why do you care to disprove him?
Yeah.
Discredit him? He's dead. Like, calm down.
Yeah. Like, yeah. Like, why not have, like, you don't, I guess there probably is a site. I was going to say Flat Earth is wrong. There probably is.
Yeah, I'm sure there is.
Yeah. People get bent out of
It's
shape.
called
about
NASA.gov.
that. Yeah. Those globalists. Oh my god. I played a clip of Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo arguing about Flat Earth. Or not about Flat Earth. They were arguing about space being fake, like NASA's pictures being fake.
Yeah.
And Joe's just like, why would they lie to us about being on a ball? He goes, I don't know, because you're on a ball, stay there, control us. And he goes, you know what? That's what I've been telling my wife for years. He's like, if we could just convince the kids that we're on a ball, it'd be easier to control them. He's like, I've been saying that. Like, they're just going back and forth. It's so funny.
That's
it's
funny.
such a funny fight. And it's like an hour long.
Yeah.
Joe gets so mad.
That's so
I've
funny.
never seen Joe madder than this. It's so good.
Just because it's like illogical.
Well, it's illogical, and it's like someone that's like his brother.
True.
Because if it
So
was
you
like
just like bicker.
yeah, if it was another person, like a guest, he'd just be like, I don't know why you think that.
Yeah.
But because it's like his brother, he's like, you're wrong. Stop, Eddie. He's like getting so pissed.
That's so funny.
I love it. Anyways, I think that's it.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Like if you haven't liked already. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. And other than that, we're out. Let me know in the comments what you think about Sitchin, about this planet, about aliens. Because I believe in the aliens. Right? I believe that we've been encountered. I believe there's other life forms. So why couldn't there be a life form that would come down and do something like that? Because at the same time, and I think Joe even says it in the end of that clip, we would do the same thing.
Yeah, it's true. If we could.
Yeah, we do exactly the same thing.
Yeah. Like if there were things on Mars
Yeah.
and we had access to them, if there were things we discovered on the moon, we would do that.
Yeah, 100% we would do that. We wouldn't even think twice about it, especially if we got to Mars and it was all diamond. We'd be like, oh, we need something to mine all these diamonds.
Yeah.
What do? Can we splice? We can. We know how to clone. Okay, let's start doing that.
Yeah.
Of course people would do that. Wouldn't even think about it.
Yeah.
Wouldn't even know what we're going to do with all the diamond. We'd just be like, let's just take it quick.
Yeah.
You know? Maybe capitalism isn't something that's just to Earth. Maybe it's like a universal thing. You find a planet that's just filled with things, it's just like,
let's take
cha-ching.
it. Yeah.
That's the universal thing all over the universe. Cha-ching. Every single being knows about, like, yeah, I need it. I want it. All right, guys. Other than that, we're out.
Bye.